Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Zach from the ZAP podcast. I have always wanted to start a podcast, but I never knew where to start or where to even begin. And then I stumbled across the Anchor app. I love the Anchor app because it's completely free and it has all the editing and uploading capabilities that you need right from your phone. So it's super easy and super user friendly. If you've always wanted to start a podcast, go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, let's get on to the episode. All right, what's up, everyone? It's Zach, and today I'm here with a very special guest. I'm here with Justin Conway. Justin, how are you doing today?
Not too bad, man. What's going on?
Good, man. Glad to hear it. Doing well. Thank you for taking the time to be on the podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to, talking to you and getting the word out about what it is that I do.
Exactly. I love it, man. So, yeah, what is it that you do? A little bit about Justin to anyone that's listening. He is a fellow Central Michigan University graduate, Fire Up Chips.
Hey.
There we go. And yeah, Justin's a really cool guy. He has a lot of different passions. Some of his passions include video games, so gaming, and then also he's interested in anime. He has a big passion for that, and he actually created Detroit's anime club. So that's something that he's been working on for a while now, and now it's a official club that's up and running. So it'll definitely be cool to hear about that a little bit. But that's just a little bit about Justin. Do you mind sharing a bit about your background, what you're doing, all that good stuff?
Yeah, no problem. Shoot, background for the most part, well, Michigan born, uh, Detroit born and raised for the most part. As I got older in my later years, I started to move around, um, and started to and lived in a couple different areas in Michigan and a little bit outside of Michigan, California for a time. Still have family out there, so always good to be in a nice sunny state. But yeah, I will say all my life I've been a huge fan of anime. Like like I still remember my first anime was which was actually Ronin Warriors.
Okay.
And Um, I don't know. It's just like growing up, everything in regards to in a connection to that, kind of like started to branch off from there. Like my first off, my love for everything geek. So like when
Okay.
everything when it comes to everything, anything anime, gaming, comics, mythology, this well runs deep. And like shoot, even to this day, I still like uh read and recommend other people to check out the Power Ranger comics because if they were doing what they do in the comics on TV,
Yeah.
yeah, there'll be another series to mess with.
I love that.
Well, in competition with like Marvel and DC and all that.
Yeah.
But yep. I mean, yeah. Then as you said earlier, the both of us attended CMU.
Yep.
You know, good fire up chips.
Yep.
I attended. I was there from 2013 to 2018.
Okay.
Um, major in graphic design. But yeah, outside of that, I haven't done much with the degree, unfortunately. You know, just how it is out there with oversaturated, you know, workforce and everything.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, that is kind of an interesting point, Justin. With your degree in graphic design, is that like the end goal for you? Like, is that what you want to be doing, like full time at some point?
actually, no. I consider myself a creative individual,
Hmm.
and with that creativity comes quick boredom. I am very passionate about actually well about a bunch of other things really over graphic design. Graphic design when I went for it actually just was just more of a I don't know, it's kind of I looked at it as like, oh sweet, now with this degree I could sign with the company if I wanted to, or I could just do a lot of freelance work
Yeah.
and divvy up my time with that and put majority of my time into something else I'm interested in, such as this anime club, for example,
Yeah.
or if I wanted to eventually write a book one day, do that.
Okay.
I have quite a few. ideas and plans for the future, but
Yeah,
at the moment, yeah, I'm pretty much just working to pay the bills
sure.
and really wanted to get this anime club off the ground and connect, all that or connect.
All right, yeah, so you were saying that, kind of with your degree, it was something that you could do with a company or have that freedom to do freelance work, and really you're just kind of focusing on getting things up and running with the anime club, right? That's kind of the main focus right now?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect, perfect. And, I know you mentioned some of your passions and interests, Justin, and, comics, games. I think those are things that, like, anyone listening is like, "Oh, yeah, like, I've games or I know about some of the current ones or, comics, superhero, stuff like that." I think I think a lot of people know what anime is, but to anyone who's listening who might be a little unfamiliar, like, how would you describe or, like, what if someone's like, "Oh, what is this?" Like, how do you get them interested in it?
Well, for the most part, I always preface with that there's an anime out there for everyone.
Okay.
Like it's not just it's not just like a lot of people come into anime thinking like, oh, this is just something that's tailored to, kids or,
Mhm.
you know, kids, teenagers, young adults, but like nobody can like people a lot of people feel like it's just a cartoon.
Yeah.
But unlike Western where at the end of the episode everything goes back to normal with anime some anime do follow that trend. Others, or most of them for the most part, there's something new going on, and at the end of that episode, like the events that happened, like they don't just disappear.
Right.
Um,
Uh,
Whereas most people who hear anime know some of the bigger household names such as Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto. Even if they never watched, they have at least heard of these shows.
Mhm.
Versus certain slept on anime or such as there's an anime called K that's really good, Garo, um, but anime that are becoming household names nowadays, or like are growing in popularity. My Hero
Yeah.
Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Like anime is definitely becoming a bigger thing uh in the U.S.,
Mhm.
which I am always down for, and I love the growth. I love the involvement. Like one thing that's actually um that I'm really excited about is the fact that anime has been seen in more anime movies are
Mhm.
getting access to the like more U.S. theaters. You know, just I'll say 10 years ago, you would rarely hear that. Only select
Right.
theaters would be doing something like that. But for the most part, it's just you have to catch it online or pirate it some way
Right.
versus like now, like if when Dragon Ball decides to drop another movie, I can literally go to the theater down the street and buy a movie ticket for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty cool because like, it's is it just Japan, Japanese that is really big in anime, or is it any of, like, the Asian countries?
It's a lot of the Asian countries, a lot of
Okay.
the countries over in the East, Korea for sure,
Okay.
China. I know China, they like to do a lot of CGI anime,
Okay.
um, a lot of Korean manhwa, which is literally just Korean manga. The main difference with Korean manga versus the U.S. is, I mean, not U.S. Versus Japanese manga is, whereas Japanese is read right to left,
Mhm.
Korean is left to right, and Korean is fully colored, whereas Japanese manga is black and white.
Right. Okay.
All really good. Actually excited about a few Korean mangas that are gaining more popularity. One of my favorites actually got the green light for an anime series next year. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it's called Solo Leveling. So, for those
Yeah.
listening, definitely look out for that.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that is really cool, and I think, like, I'm someone who I grew up on the very common popular animes that you mentioned, Dragon Ball Z, all those different ones, Dragon Ball Z GT, or just all the other versions.
Hmm.
One Piece here or there, Naruto a little bit, not as much. And then I mean I even go as far as, Pokemon or Digimon, would be a form of anime. So that's kind of like what my background is. But outside of that, I think like it's definitely something that is very popular in the East. And like you said, it is trending more towards the West. I think it's like growing up, you and I are around the same age. Like we might have not heard too much about it near us, or like, communities that are involved in anime or people that are into it. But now I think like it's very, I would say pretty common, honestly, at least in our area, it feels that
Uh,
it is kind of taking over a bit.
oh, absolutely. Like honestly, I can say like, excuse me, because I'm old, but like 15, 14 years ago, when I was in school, that was something like I personally never like felt ashamed about being a fan of anime. That didn't stop people from picking on me about it, but I was still, always, highlighting it, talking about it, um, showcasing it any way I could.
Hmm.
Versus, I mean, there were others who caught, got more of who got picked on a lot more than I, but versus like in Japan, whereas it's so integrated into their culture, things that have nothing to do with anime have some type of anime, in the advertising,
Hmm.
so anything from uh fabric softener to groceries, like stuff that had nothing to do with anime. Just, oh, Goku's on this box of cereal. Definitely, I'm buying these. Like
Right.
something tells me if I eat these, I'm either going to get stronger or become a Super Saiyan. Either way,
Yeah.
I'm with it. Versus,
Yeah.
no, but like over though, no, over that small period of time, like a lot of people. I mean, it's becoming a more accepted thing, which is
Yeah.
something I'm always down for. The I love the growth. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, a good example is an event that just passed that is still growing in popularity, but still a lot of people don't know about is Youmacon, the the big anime convention in Michigan, primarily that's held downtown Detroit now.
Okay.
Like over 10 years ago, it was a lot smaller and it was held at like the Hyatt Hotel in Dearborn.
Okay.
And over the years, it migrated from there to the Renaissance downtown. And from there, now it takes over both the Renaissance and the TCF. I mean, not TCF, the Huntington building downtown.
Okay.
And
Wow.
like even though COVID, threw a wrench in the plans, you know, they took the hit with that. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, like 2021, they came back and had their conventions. Like they still, you know, they survived through that, which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm always down for events because that's one big event that pulls a lot of anime fans out and acts as an outlet.
Hmm.
But we don't have many of those in Michigan anymore. Well, I
Right.
don't say anymore, but in Michigan, period. So like kind of so leading into like the point of this club is to you know have more events and pop-ups and opportunities and things to do that people who are into anime and fans can get involved with outside of just waiting for this one event every year.
Right.
And then also let people get people notified about the businesses that are tailored to more of the geek and the anime inspired things, such as Otaku Detroit. I'm actually in talks with them about having a couple club meetings and events, and along with Replay Cafe.
Okay.
They just started having a nerd night, once a month, and hopefully that's going to grow in consistency.
Yeah,
And I'm actually in talks with them about possibly hosting one of these months.
that's awesome. That's really cool. It sounds like you're doing a lot of great things for the community, and something you mentioned that really resonated with me. And I think back to when I was growing up as well. I think that unfortunately, for whatever reason, there seemed to be maybe like a negative stigma towards anime, or like you mentioned, people would get picked on for it. And I certainly can think back to my time growing up, and I think that, people that were very into anime, they sometimes would get made fun of or picked on by their peers. And, that's never acceptable at any level, but just kind of like it's weird that that was kind of the reality that we lived in, but now
Yeah.
it is becoming more accepting. And I think it's really cool that you're kind of getting behind the community, and creating your club as a way to really help grow that community, especially here within Michigan. Um, how long have you wanted to like start a club, Justin? Like, is that something that like you've been working on for a while, or was it just like did it just come out of nowhere almost?
Um, Not necessarily. Okay, so I want to say it's something I've been working on for a while,
Okay.
but it's not. It's like something out of nowhere. So the idea um was I've had the thought for a while, for a long time, to do something. I just didn't know what.
Okay.
Um, but the inspiration actually came from someone who's actually helping to work on and fund the club. She So there was a traveling like group who started who would basically have like parties. Well, they make a bunch of anime, team themed and based content, but they came to Michigan, actually at uh they actually host Replay Cafe hosted them. They're called Blur or Black Nerd.
Okay.
Um, and they had a party, like a cosplay party and everything. And it was actually like really dope from the pictures and the videos I saw. I unfortunately didn't get to attend, but a lot of people talked about, wow, wish we had something like that in Michigan or Detroit. It would, that would be really, dope, fire. And so from there, but she's not as big into anime as I am. And she looked at me like, oh, that's more of your expertise, but this is what why not, do something? Why not create something that, you know, answer this call that because she was reading a lot of the comments that people were, talking on and saying like, yeah, if something like this was in Michigan, I would 100% be behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. From there, I mean, I pondered on the thought for a while, but at a point, I just got to the idea of, what, why not?
Yeah.
Why not get it off the ground? Try it, see what happens. If it works out, dope. If it doesn't, I can at least say I gave it a shot.
Exactly. Yeah, I think
Um,
that's a good attitude.
but yeah, no, I'm actually looking forward to seeing where this goes. Uh, um, and then just thinking about it, uh, and all the ideas I have, and then the events I plan on, hosting and facilitating. I'm just looking forward to see how they turn out. I have quite a few ideas, but actually, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're all good. Yeah, you said
But
you have
yeah, no.
quite a few ideas though.
Oh yeah. I won't say too much on them because I don't want to, I don't want to like talk about them and then like they not happen.
Sure.
And it's like, oh dang, well he said, he was trying to do this, but no, I have hopes for these ideas. And launched properly, they could be phenomenal. Like it can be a real big hit. I think it'll be really. Oh, I think it'll be something really fun for a lot of people to come out to. Um, some of these are events like for the summer, especially.
Okay.
Um, But yeah, no, but yeah, to answer your question, I guess to answer your question, it's a little bit of both. It's something I've been thinking about, but then have like the proper or have the a real idea on what to do,
Hmm.
and then after speaking to certain people
Yeah,
and them expressing their opinion on like, what, why not give it a shot? Yeah. Yeah, so the idea just came to life that way, and
got it.
well, here we are right now. So my main focus at the moment is just to get the word out, let people know that I'm here, I exist. Um, I've had a few events so far. A lot of them, majority of them are primarily pop up. Um, we do so at these events. I'll have like anime trivia. I bring like a couple of my game systems for people to have something to interact with, along with like streaming anime on a big projector. Um, we have some interact. I have a couple interactive games just to get a lot of people involved. But yeah, but I primarily am like setting this up to
Yeah.
provide a space in the area, for people to come out and have and just more outlets to you know kind of do your weeb thing, because one just to touch on something earlier when we were
Yeah.
talking about how we were picked on at at points in life just because we were fans of it. There are those who some of the people who picked on us were fans themselves, but didn't want to get picked on, so they're like, might as well just jump on the bandwagon and pick on this guy to deflect all that from me.
Right. Yeah,
But now with it being more accepted, people can be truer to themselves.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm curious to ask Justin, do you think there's a specific reason why anime is becoming more accepted and popular here in the West?
Um, yeah, honestly, it, it kind of it baffles me to this day. I'm like, what the sudden um change?
Hmm.
But I think it's just because I will say I feel like it's because people are changing.
Yeah.
Like people are becoming more accepting of just and more open minded slowly but surely, and become more accepting of concepts and different things that are just going on in the world, and realizing that you can't put people down for things that they were into that that things that aren't hurting anyone.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, I mean, the people are also realizing what anime really is. Like, the concepts and the stories behind a lot of these series and shows, um, and the animation, like the art behind it. That's
Yeah.
the big thing. Like, the different art styles for name of anime, everything, from how, you know, Dragon Ball, animates things, and everything from how they used to do things to the new style now, or to how Demon Slayer does things, or Fire Force, for example, how they make the sound effects when certain characters are using their special powers and abilities.
Hmm.
Like it's just it's in the variety. Like
Yeah.
people have more options to people have quite a few options. Like, okay, I'm a fan of this, but not a fan of that. And there's something out there for everybody, and not everything is for everyone, and that's okay. That's fine. You can there are people who I can name a list of anime, and I promise you there's someone out there who hates all of them,
Right.
but versus um but they, even though they hate all the ones I can name off right now, they probably have a list that they enjoy themselves. Like and then just like I said, the variety of anime is not all just Dragon Ball fighting and action and ninjas and aliens.
Right.
Um, there's a anime called there's an anime called School Babysitter, and
Okay.
I never knew that I needed an anime about babies until I watched this. I'm like, this is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
How like how did I not know this existed? Or like even sports anime.
Yeah.
Um, no, one that I'm that one that's gotten really big is Haikyuu, which is volleyball anime.
Okay.
Another one that's actually just came out and is getting growing in popularity is called Blue Lock. It's a soccer anime
Yep.
or football, depending on your region in the world. But that anime is actually phenomenal. The visuals, the story, know, um, yeah, I'm loving everything about it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think you're putting a really good kind of explanation out there, Justin, with like there's just so much variety and it's so just like it's not maybe what it historically has appeared to be, like you said, like all fighting or whatever. Like there's just different genres and different types. And I think a good way to describe anime is like it's like you're saying with the visuals and the sound effects, the music. It's art really when you think about it. It's like the artistic creativity that goes into it's really cool. And I think it's like, again, if anyone's like, I still don't know like really what anime is or if I'd be into it or if I'm interested in it. I think like a fair comparison is like, think of Marvel or DC, everyone loves the Avenger movies and stuff like that. Like it's kind of the same premise of, that kind of stuff, or at least some of it can be, but it's
Oh
just,
yeah.
maybe whereas like the comic book superheroes, and I apologize if I say this incorrectly, but in my opinion, like comic book superheroes are more Western originated and based on animes more Eastern, but that doesn't really matter
Oh,
where it came from, right? It's kind of the same concepts and very similar with art direction and everything.
oh no, yeah, you're definitely not wrong there. Like, especially in regards to like, the West primarily came up on comics and stuff of that nature,
Hmm.
versus in Japan, anime and manga was their thing. Um, and the world started to bridge. I want to say in the mm, probably I want to say that in the '90s. Um, we probably didn't see anime in the US until I would assume the '80s, late '80s.
Okay.
But uh, shoot, even just a tag on DC and Marvel, like they have that whole, you know, people who like DC versus Marvel. Just one thing I like to speak on when it comes to that is like the MCU, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, beautiful thing. Like when it comes to the
Hmm.
live action, I will say Marvel is king, but you know, a lot of people have a stigma just about animated things, period, and I'm not sure why, but um, DC, like a lot of their animated series,
Yeah.
shows, movies are phenomenally done. Like, um, there's a line of movies in DC called the New 52,
Yep.
and those movies are amazing. Like anybody who was a fan of what's what I'm looking for of Teen Titans on Cartoon Network growing
Yep.
up. Like if you, I always tell people if you like Teen Titans, you will absolutely love the show on HBO Max called Young Justice.
Yeah.
It originated on Cartoon Network, but once DC started moving on their animated things to their own platform and then merged with HBO Max, that's where to find it now. But again, it's a like honestly the way I watched Young Justice is the same as how I watch like anime. I get the same feel. It excites me just as much. Like the story behind it, the animation is good.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, like I said, there's an anime out there for everyone. A lot of people, I mean, try it, at your own pace. Like
Okay.
don't just, go for it just because, someone else you feel. I mean, because a lot of people, tend to do things at their own rate anyway.
Hmm.
So don't feel pressured into getting into anime. Like a lot of people, one reason why a lot of people don't want to check out One Piece. Like a lot of people just feel it's too long,
Yeah.
or don't, or feel like it's more of a commitment. And with that, I tell them like, you can. I mean, One Piece is just going to be around for a long time. Like it's going to be. It came out while I'm alive, but it'll be here long after I'm gone.
Yeah.
And there will still be people, decades from now, eventually getting into One Piece.
Yeah.
And there are series running longer than One Piece, but it's nothing that doesn't like take away from the greatness.
Right.
There's great long stories, there are great short stories. Um, but all of these anime, I like to say, tell a good story. I will say one thing that also and I will give anime their credit for is the themes that they bring about. You know, everything, a lot of things themed around friendship,
Yeah.
hard work, and not giving up, and perseverance.
Hmm.
Um, teamwork. Um, and then you got shows that kind of not kind of that challenge you know the status quo, or that really will give kind of make you think about certain concepts of things differently, such as um I mean, for example, Death Note, kind of make you think about, if you had the power to change the world, how would you do so?
Mm.
Or or like another anime called Psychopaths that really, made me think like, like how would you feel in a world where, you know, everything is ran by uh, a highly intelligent AI, and like because this AI's prediction ability is so great, it determines what job is best for you, and pretty much just takes away a lot of your freedoms and individuality, because this thing determines that you're best for this, you can do that,
Right.
and also even extends to the point to determining are redeemable or not. Like
Hmm.
like just judges your mental stability so
Yeah.
harshly that like even if you don't do anything heinous, if something heinous happens to you or you witness something, it this system will determine if you are savable or not through therapy, or if you just need to be eliminated. And it's like,
Oh,
whoa, I'm
yeah.
glad I don't live there.
Exactly. Yeah, that is a crazy concept. Um, so Justin, something you've mentioned a few times now that I think is a really good thing that I kind of want to highlight is you said like you truly believe that there's an anime for everyone out there, and we've talked about the
Mhm.
different kind of genres or just different sports, fighting, just different types that people can find. If someone listening to this is like they have no experience with anime, like they never grew up even seeing an episode of Dragon Ball Z or One Piece, like they know who like Goku is, but not familiar with it, but they're interested, they want to kind of get dip their toe in to the anime water, if you will. Is there one that you would say is like pretty, I guess, beginner friendly or a good starting point for someone?
Ooh, that is a great question. Um, a g- okay, so I would say that one's tough to answer. The only reason I say so is just because of the mainly because of how like a lot of these streaming services have their exclusives. So not
Sure.
everyone may not have access to certain anime.
Okay.
But in regards to like anime and like the different genres and whatnot, well, first off, I'll say, feel free to, reach out to me because I have recommendations for everybody. Pick a genre. I got you.
Okay.
Everything from comedy to romance, slice of life,
Perfect.
drama, the list goes on. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. So I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with starting with any of the, popular ones.
Okay.
Some of them may be slow burns than others, but well, I guess one to no. So of the popular ones, popular series, I will say a good one to jump into and check out would be Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen,
Okay.
primarily because they're relatively well rounded in that fact that in the aspect of they're not really too much on either side. Like the both of them are more action oriented, but they do have they tackle a lot of you know they tackle they're entertaining. The art style behind all of them are just great. Um, they have a lot of comic relief in there to
Okay.
break the tension. But yeah, those I would say those are some good starter anime. Um, anything in regards just to kind of get your feet wet.
Yeah.
Because there are like other shows such as um Black Clover. Like it may be a slower burn for people.
Okay.
Um, but I will say that show in particular, like man, I was taken aback and taken away with how much I've fallen for the series.
Yeah.
Um, just because like once it like when it picks up, like, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And
That's
oh,
awesome.
no. But yeah, then and the best part about anime is that you know is gain with it gaining in popularity is getting a lot more. The options and the variety is just getting bigger and bigger. Like the amount of anime that are getting season two
Mm-hmm.
and uh season twos and like just their own series period. Like next year is is nuts. I mean, a lot of series. Actually, just this October was huge. Shows got season twos. New shows came out. One of the big three. One growing up of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Kind of all came out anime
Mm-hmm.
wise around the same time and were just growing in popularity. Um, Bleach has been gone for almost 10 years now. The anime at least, and however, the story around that is that the anime did not finish the story.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
the manga had a final arc after that, and people were like, "Wow, like what happened? Why didn't this continue? How are you going to stop?" Literally right before the last chapter was going on.
Right.
And for the longest, there were a lot of rumors going around. A lot of people just in the dark and thinking, well, we'll never see this animated. But over the years, the fan base was, still proved to be fake. Proved that they were interested and, for lack of a better word, faithful. Like we still want this. Um, it got the green light and the backing to, animate the final arc, and Bleach came back, and I feel especially the timing is all but impeccable because we're in the era of remakes and reboots. Final Fantasy is getting a remake. I mean, Final Fantasy VII is getting doing a lot of their remakes, um, which is actually dope because they can integrate, more of the expanded universe of Final Fantasy VII. The Dragon Ball series, that series was beaten like a dead horse back to life, and with it coming back, it just blew up. I,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it blew up in the can of worms, but no, it destroyed the supermarket because it's just not only. I mean, it just expanded itself exponentially to the
Yeah.
point of anybody basically opened the multiverse of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So,
I yeah,
um,
definitely.
um, yeah,
Awesome.
no. So, I mean, another good one I will recommend to people:
Sure.
One Punch Man. Watch One
Okay.
Punch Man.
Okay. I've heard good things. Awesome. Well, thank you for those recommendations. Something we've touched on quite a bit with, you starting your club and everything, the anime club, which I think is, super awesome in general, but just like the fact that you've been able to start it and grow it and, you have a lot of events for it that you're, in the works with or hoping to get out there. To anyone listening who might be interested in starting a club, you obviously have anime club down, but I don't know, let's
Hmm.
say they want to do I don't know, some, God of War club for the video game God of War, or, just a gaming club, or maybe it's music related club or just anything. Do you have any advice to anyone when it comes to like starting a club or running a club? Any advice that you would give them?
The best advice I can give them is do not procrastinate.
Okay.
Like, do procrastination is the enemy. Like, you would like I understand there's strategic timing, but just like constantly waiting and waiting for opportunities, you are missing more opportunities than not. So definitely just don't procrastinate. Put your ideas on paper, take notes, jot something down if it comes to mind. And even if you don't, have the full thought, you can polish it later. Um, don't be afraid to reach out to people, gain interest, kind of see, if people are interested in it. And then think about how you want to, you know, how you want this to be done, how you want it to be run. Like, what is the goal of it? If you want this, do you want this to just strictly be like a virtual thing and you're just trying to, reach these people, reach this audience, um, figure out the best way to, well, think about the best way to do that. Um, if this is going to be in person, you know, at that point you have to, at that point, I would definitely say think about how to increase your interest and value.
Okay.
Like, and when I say value, like value always trumps cost, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Like, like prime, just for example, if you work an average 9 to 5 and a lot of people, but you say you're working average 9 to 5, making like 17 an hour or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have much of a savings. So you say you're just working, you're living check to check.
Okay.
Say you somehow meet somebody who is like stupid rich and like they don't know the value of a dollar. They don't care because they just got it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And say they have like a Lamborghini and they are willing to just give it off to you for like $8,000. Like they're like, I don't care how you do it, what you got to do. You can get me $8,000 by this time. You can have this thing, deed, title, the whole nine.
Okay.
No, I don't want to say deed, but whatever. You got the title, the
The
whole nine
title,
is all
yeah.
yours.
Okay.
And I promise you, that will be the fastest $8,000 anybody has gotten in their life because they see the value of that machine. They're like more so in the sense of either they want to keep it cool, but if they want to sell it and flip it and like quadruple their investment, nobody is going to pass up that opportunity because the value is there. They see the value.
Yeah.
So if people see the value in, whatever you're trying to do, be it start a club or start a business, the long as the value's there, it will always trump the cost.
That's a really good point. That's a really good message to anyone that is trying to start a club, trying to start a business, or even just applying for a job, even or applying to a school. What kind of value can you provide to others? And that leads me to the question, Justin, of like, what if someone has an idea, like they have a really good idea for a business or a club, but they don't know the value that they could. Do you have any advice on figuring out how to provide value or covering what kind of value you can offer?
Ooh, because I'm actually in. like people out there, I'm actually in the midst of, figuring out the value or figuring out what I bring to the table.
Okay.
However, um, one thing I will say is, um, in your search of, discovering, the value you bring, be careful when it comes to, no, yeah, when it comes to your ideas, be careful who you discuss that with,
Mm.
because, you, I don't want to just, I'm not trying to, throw any shade to anybody out in the world, but there are some people out there who will take advantage of that, and
Yeah.
especially if they can see the value, if they see the value that you don't, they can take that, and if they have the means to make it a reality faster, I'm telling you they will. Um, but in regards to like discovering your own value,
Yeah. Any thoughts on discovering your own value? Justin, can you hear me?
hello?
I can hear you now. Okay. We're
Okay.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
discover no, you're
Yeah.
good. Discovering your own value.
Yeah, so I'll say with that, uh, do some self-reflecting in the sense of like, think about what you would want, and try to become that. Like, or like for example, like with this club, I want, I want something. I want I want a physical event where I can go and connect with other people who like anime
Yeah.
and gaming. So rather than wait around for somebody else to make this, why not I make it? Well, I can
Exactly.
just do it. I can go out and do it myself. I have to stop. I have to stop procrastinating, get up and go put the work in, and like especially with something like this, the value is there.
Yeah.
Now I just have to become a beacon for it,
Right.
and attract it. Like, you know what? I'm not, because I know if I want this, I know other people want this too. But instead, the difference between me and them is they don't want to be that beacon. They don't want to make that space or provide that space, but they want to go to that space.
Yeah.
So, like, one thing that helped me, well, was honestly the thought of, as quiet as it was the thought of going to Hot Topic and like seeing a bunch of cool like anime based graphic tees. I'll see like some really cool like Naruto shirts, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, the whole nine. But then I always stop myself from purchasing them. And there's nothing wrong with those who do buy them, like by all means. But I think about, you know what? If I think this is cool, I'm sure there's a couple thousand other people that think this is cool.
Right.
And I'm more than likely going to end up wearing the same shirt as somebody else.
Yeah.
And I'm in the likelihood, and with the popularity of this, the likelihood of me running into them is a lot higher than I think.
Sure.
So instead of that, I'll find something different and make my own thing.
Yeah.
You know, nothing against that. I mean, hell, more shoot, it'll still be Dragon Ball, but it'll just be a one of a kind thing.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, like
I like that.
uh, shoot, I have a hat that is literally covered with nothing but anime pins,
Okay.
and it's just one of those things. Like, a lot like that's something I wanted, but I didn't find anywhere in the world, so
Hmm.
I just made it.
Yeah.
And with that, every time, almost every time I step out, there's always somebody complimenting the hat or saying that's really cool, or you know, how long did it take you to make this? Where did you get it? And with that, like, that kind of acts as my beacon. So I'm like, you know what? I just need to translate that to this club
Yeah,
and just extrapolate it because a lot of beautiful, great things can happen. No, like this could spark a lot of beautiful, great ideas and events.
def
Um, I mean, the sky is the limit.
yeah.
Shoot, but honestly, with this, the goal is to moonwalk on the sun. So
I love that. You gotta have big goals and go after them. And I think it's been awesome to see the development of your anime club and just all the work that you're putting into it. So I'm super happy to hear about that, and I know that it's gonna be a great community for a lot of people, and a lot of people are finding out of it. And I think that you're gonna do great things as a club. So I'm excited for that.
thank you
To
very much.
anyone, yeah, of course. To anyone that's listening that wants to check out your anime club, or you mentioned like if anyone's interested, they can always reach out and ask for your recommendations or just connect with you. What would be ways to like get in touch with you or to connect with the club or get involved with any of the events that the club's putting on?
Yeah, so the best ways to do all of that is to check out the Instagram,
Okay.
born underscore otaku 77. Um, the Discord link is in the bio there. Yeah, so those are the best ways to, reach me
Okay.
and to check me out. For those who, because I'm not super big into social media, but I know that's kind of redundant or ridiculous in the sense that because of what I'm trying to start. But
Sure.
um, I will say for those who don't have that, um, for those who still use Snapchat, you can reach out to me there. It's J Smooth, JSMOOVE 2117. Check me out there.
Okay.
Anybody who have any ideas who want to collab or an event or two or whatever, or anybody who just want to, outlet to talk geek and whatever about, or looking for recommendations, anything, just check me out. Trust me, I got you.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you, Justin, for that information. And I'm going to put that in the description of this episode, so you can go down to the description box and you can find the Anime Club Instagram, the Discord, and then Justin's Snapchat as well if you want to reach out to him that way. So yeah, I'll put that all in the description so you can access it that way. But as we're wrapping things up, Justin, do you have any last final thoughts, message, words, or anything that you want to share to anyone that's listening to us today?
Um, any, well, I will say my last thoughts will have to be with anime becoming more of an accepted thing.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid to embrace that. Don't be afraid to, like what you like, be yourself, because as a community, I promise you, we're here for you.
I love that. And just to piggyback off that a little bit, you know, there is I truly believe, like Justin said, there's an anime for everyone, and if it's something that you are interested in, Justin said, embrace it. But if it's something that you aren't into, or you've given it a try, or you will give it a try and you don't like it, that's okay too. But like, just be kind to others and be kind to everyone. We all have different interests and passions and hobbies, so even if it's not something that you enjoy, that it's not a worthwhile thing to be passionate about. So I think, as we've talked about earlier, we're getting to a place in the world where people are just more open to just different interests and things. So just and not everything is going to click with everyone, and that's okay. And just know that if that's the case, that's fine. But with you, then by all means embrace it. And just Justin's a great person to connect with, and to check out the club to learn more about it with.
Well, thank you for that. And
Yeah.
off of what you're saying, like everyone, Zach is an amazing guy. And, the fact that he's providing this platform to allow me to even speak, like, is just wonderful. And I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the kind words and just your friendship too. Really appreciate you as a person, and I love the gaming and anime conversations we have, and I'm sure we'll have plenty more. But Justin, thank
Absolutely.
you. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and like I said, super excited to see what the future of your club holds, and just everyone, please do check it out and reach out if you have any questions or want to get involved because I think that there's going to be some really cool things coming in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Take care, Justin. See you later.
Yep, you too.
Thanks.